joined today with Miles Ryan Harris. Man, I am extremely honored to have you on. How you feeling today?
I'm good, man. I am good. A little bit tired, but excited and good, man. Happy to be here with you, man.
Happy to have you, man. Whew, I can't even lie to you, man. It's cold out here in Atlanta. I'm wishing for some warmer weather. I'm second guessing my thoughts of living in Atlanta. It's been so cold this winter. It's been too much for me. How's it out there where you're at?
It's been good out here, but it's been like a ongoing crazy amount of rain. I feel like for like Cali and Orange County and LA in general. But other than that, it's been good, man.
Man,
Can't
enjoy.
complain. Cali is Cali, man. So I'll take the rain.
Yeah, minus some random snowstorm you guys got.
Yeah.
Um, Well, we'll get right into it, man. So we got a lot to chop it up about today. For those that don't know, Miles is coming out with a new song called "Hell and Back." It's going to be on Sound. The pre-sale starts tonight. The regular sale is tomorrow. You guys can tap in. Um, Lots and lots to talk about here. There's some cool visuals with it. I would encourage you, if you have not seen already, go to Miles' page at Miles Ryan Harris. Just really easy to find him there. But first and foremost, before we get into that, I found something really interesting about you, Miles.
Hmm.
When I went to your Spotify, I always like to see where the monthly listeners aggregate from. And you got like a heavy, heavy Brazil influence. Like the top five are all Brazilian cities.
Yeah.
What's up? Like that's just like the vibe. Like what's going on there?
Man, I still haven't like fully figured it out, but like I did. So I was doing some like marketing campaigns. Like I don't want to say too early into when I started messing with Spotify, but maybe like a year into it, right? And it just seemed like that was a place that like kept gravitating to the music. So I think at first it was all and I mean it's still all trial and error at this point, but I think just for me, when I started to see that, I started to like lean a little bit heavier into it. Like, oh, okay, like I'd never been out there. I don't know people out there. I don't speak the language, but like if they're connecting with the music, like let me keep like pushing it their way. And it's been I was having a conversation about this the other day. I really haven't done any crazy, really any marketing at all, like for the music for probably like the past year and a half, 2 years. And the numbers on that end have been consistent. Like it's like they rock with the music. It's mostly stuff that ends up like in their library, like it's not even really being like fed to them. So I'm grateful for it. I don't know the full formula, but it seems like they rock with it, and I just kept feeding them the music.
That's super cool. And so like I guess naturally now we gotta find a tour for you in South America, obviously.
Man, I'm saying I'm saying
Brazil, Argentina, like all that. Like, let's go, right?
yeah.
Um, but all right, so let's dive into Hell and Back. Um, so first things first on this, like I always encourage everybody to go and listen to it. If you are on the pre-sale list, you can go and listen to it right now, right on Sound. If not, you can hear some snippets of it via socials. But I'm feeling this one. I'm feeling the vibe on it. So
Appreciate
first
it, bro.
question is this something like brand new? Or have you been sitting on it for a little bit? Like, how long has this one been like cooking up?
Mm, Pretty new. Like, I'd say over the past like couple of weeks, new. Me and my brother Life, like, so I'm actually up in LA right now. He stays in LA. I'm in Orange County. Um, and like it just had been a minute since we like locked in on something. So we got this record. We got a couple other records in the tuck as well
Hey,
that we worked on, but this one is like fairly new, man. Past couple of weeks, we knocked it out. We did, yeah, yeah.
love to hear, man. And from what I can tell, right? So like you had a nice write up on this on Twitter too. I mean, you guys did everything, right? Like it was including production.
Nah, I forget. It was a producer that he had locked in with, but aside from like the production, like we sat in here in the same room, like recorded it. We were trying to get some people to do like some video stuff, but nobody was like coming through. So I just grabbed my camera. I filmed like his parts, he filmed my parts, like yeah, we like mixed it together, engineered it together. So it was dope. It was a cool like experience from top to bottom.
That's cool, man. And like I've got the video up right in front of me right now. Like even the editing, like are you nice on like the video editing too? Is that you?
I mean, I'm decent. To be honest, it's both of us. Like,
Okay.
he's got his like style and aesthetic that he likes. I got like my kind of like style and aesthetic that I like, and we just kind of like sat and we're like, all right, like let's knock it out like this. So he would do like some edits and then send me the Premiere file, and then like I would mess with it and then send it back to him, and it was like and it seems like it's been like a lot of that lately of like just pure collaboration. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, no, no. I'm feeling it. And it came out well. Song's good, video's good, cover art's good. I wish
Appreciate it,
more
man.
players. Like you guys got in the bag for this one. So um curious was, when it comes to the actual songwriting, I always like to hear any stories behind it, whatever you're able to share type of thing. But sometimes like, people will put themselves in another person's shoes. Sometimes you're speaking from your own experience. Like, is this internally motivated or was it more of a storytelling type of thing? Like, what was going on here?
This one, like honestly, bro, it is purely like internal. Like it was, some shit I'm like going through and dealing with, and I just felt like so he had like the idea for the hook, and as soon as like I heard that, it was like it's wild, man, because that's how I've been feeling about writing for quite a while now. Is like it's hard to lean out of that, you know what I mean? Like it's hard for me personally to like tap in to something that I'm not like fully like immersed in.
Yeah.
And this was just like another one of those ones. It's funny, I remember I laid it down, and then we had showed like a friend of his, and she was like, wow, who hurt you? And I'm like, I was just dying, and I'm like, nah, man. Like it's just I'm pulling it from a real place. I'm good, but I'm pulling these things from a real place. So
To be honest though, that's probably is like as good of a reaction as you can hope for. Like
for
this,
sure.
you know, the statement, right? Like that means they can feel it. And so I
Yeah.
feel like that means it's real. So that's pretty cool, man. Now this is your first open edition that you're doing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How do you feel about that? Because I know this is like a relatively new concept on the music side.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Do
I
you sway
mean,
one way or the other? Does it matter really?
nah, I mean, maybe I'll like report back to you with something different afterwards. Who knows? But I think I always thought that like that concept in itself was dope. I think that like, I was thinking about it this morning, and it's like I think that naturally our like attention spans are so short. So even like past the point of like the music, how we're seeing like these drops go is like, you'll have these phases where it like goes one way and it's all the same. I don't think that like going, lower for like an open edition like necessarily devalues the music. I think that it's just a matter of like switching it up a little bit, and kind of taking different like paths with it. So I don't know, I mean, we'll see. It's like you said, it's my first one. I feel like I got some dope things like planned with it. I didn't want to just say, oh, okay, I'm going from doing regular editions to open editions, and it's the exact same thing. Like I kind of wanted to go about it a little bit differently. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any preference as of yet, but I'm excited for this.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, like it makes sense. Like I think it's just a distribution method. So, but some people feel a little bit more passionate than others. So I was just curious. But speaking of something that you're trying to do different with it, I want to talk about your concept of flowers. I think this is a really cool concept and it's really interesting. So, first of all, let's talk about what it exactly is, and I'd like to hear from your mouth, really.
For sure, for sure. So, and I like it was some shit that had just like hit me, and I'm like, yo, like this would be super dope. Like, we always talk about this in the space of like giving other artists their flowers, and I think there's a lot of people within the space that do a really good job at it. And then I think coupling that with what I was saying before of like, okay, well, how could I do this different? I was like, all right, look, we're about to take 10% of every drop, and at least with these open editions. So from the entire like primary revenue, we're going to take 10%. 5% is going to go to the top collector to keep, and then 5% is going to go to an artist of their choice in the space as like a way of them giving flowers back to somebody else in the space. So that's kind of like the base concept. And I mean, where I'm at with it at this point is I'm like, yo, like, why not? Why not just keep the shit rocking for like any time that I'm able to actually implement it, I'm down. So I'm super excited for, just to see like how it pans out. You know what I mean? To see who top collector ends up being, to see who they choose, because I have no say in it, right? Like I'm gonna just be like, look, man, pick it as long as they're like an artist in the space, like pick it and shoot it. So that's kind of the concept itself in a nutshell.
Man, all the more reason for everybody out there, if you're listening, run this one up, right? So 5% goes to the top collector. The collector also chooses where 5% can go to as another artist that is active within the Web3 space. It's a really, really, really cool concept. Like I really rock with that. And like low key kind of want to be competitive with it because we go crazy on this. You can make a little bit of change and you can help somebody out. And obviously it helps you. So like, win, win, win. Like no real complaints there because yeah, I don't know. I'm just a competitive person. So like I kind of
Hey,
want
me too. Me
to
too.
you know what I mean? Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Um, that's really cool. And where did that, is it just something that came to you or was there something that inspired that?
I mean, I feel like it stemmed from me just looking, like I said, like I didn't want to go from, I didn't want to go from like the way that I've released and done drops before, excuse me, in the past to like doing, an open edition and do it the exact same way. So I think that was what kind of like sparked the idea in the first place. And I forget who I was talking to recently, but like I feel like there's been a lot of those conversations of like just giving artists and whatnot like their flowers, while they're here.
For sure.
And I think it was perfect because I got this project that I've been working on for a while, and it's like it's been a concept that I've had for like probably 3-4 years at this point, and it perfectly ties into that. Like I won't get crazy into detail, but it was like it was just perfect. The timing of it was perfect.
All right, bet. Well, look, I'm definitely excited to see that. And for what it's worth, man, you definitely deserve your flowers. You've been active in the space. I see you in the future surf stuff, dropping gems and sound, giving flowers to people all the time anyway. So this is another way to actually like materialize that and make that very tangible into different people's lives and a nice process, I think, to introduce. I want to get more into like maybe what you got cooking up like throughout the rest of this year, maybe what you have plans and stuff like that. But before we do, I'm going to try to stir up a little bit of controversy here. And we're going to take you to the future surf side. And I got like three questions here where we're going to see what we get. So, who on the future surf side is the best cook?
The best cook. Now, are we going like out of the main host? Like, are we going Cam, Scala, and June? Or are we going like entire Future Surf family?
You know, however you want to do it. We can be all inclusive or we can narrow it down. Actually, you know what? Let's do both. Let's do both. If the answer is different, let's do both.
Okay. Okay, so if I'm picking out of the top hosts, I feel like I would have to go with my boy Scala. I would
Okay.
just and he hasn't even chefed up too much. I feel like I feel like he's always got some good food takes. So I'm gonna give that to him. If we're talking about the entire Future Surf family, ah, man, I feel like I would have to go. I feel like I'd have to go Izzy because Izzy used to be a baker.
Oh,
So yeah, I think she's got that on lock. But yeah, those are my
I work
picks right
busy
there.
then. I was gonna be really shocked if you came out and said like Sarah. I would have been like,
Oh
what?
no 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 no. Nah, love Sarah to death, but she's been coming with some wild food takes lately. So yeah, we gotta leave her out of this one. But shout out
Uh,
to Sarah.
Next one is the funniest.
The funniest is for sure Sarah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can get with that too. Yeah, I love Sarah's everything that she does on social, but yeah, I should have
Yeah,
to
she is absolutely insane. Insane in the greatest way possible.
and I also think June's right there. June's pretty damn
Yes, June is up there for sure. June is up there for sure.
all
Yeah,
right.
I'm trying to think if there's anybody else who just like has me dying, but those are definitely like top two for sure.
And this last one here might be where we stir up some controversy, and it's who are you not letting watch your kids?
Probably June.
That's funny.
Nah, June's a good dude. I just feel like he might be wilding out a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, no, come back and I feel like, well, for what it's worth, your kids would be like doing like different videos and stuff, like
They come back with some skills. I bet you that.
for sure.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's
Nah, I
funny.
love June.
I don't know if you'd seen that, but like they were doing that in NBA locker rooms, asking who they wouldn't let watch their kids, and the reactions are hilarious. Especially like when one person on the team ends up being that guy, and they're like, "Oh, no."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so for the rest of 23, there's lots of different things going on. We're seeing people kind of gravitate towards like smaller, almost micro transactions as far as content. We're still seeing drops in the traditional sense. What do you got planned for the rest of the year?
Um. So my main few things, like the main thing I'm trying to stay dialed in on right now is this project. Like I've had this like idea and this concept for a while, and I just really want to do I was thinking about the first project that I dropped like in the space, and I'm like I really want to just level it up. I feel like I'm in a completely different place like in my life. I feel like I'm in a completely different place musically, so I'm trying to just dial in on that and not rush it. Like I'm not. I feel like in the past it had been like, oh, I want to have this project done by like this date, and I'm being like strict with myself on it, but it's not like, oh, it has to be done now. It's like it's done when it feels right. And then I feel like outside of that, just expanding on the music, man. I really one of my big things for this year that I'd like to like dig a little bit deeper into is like the sync side of things.
Mm,
And just kind of explore that a little bit. Build out my like catalog that's on DSPs. I feel like I got a lot of music that hit like Web3 that didn't make it to DSPs yet. So just figuring out the best way to roll all of that out. And yeah, man, just staying dialed into the music and just continuing to get better with it as like a general thing. But yeah, my main thing right now is probably like this project and just leveling up on that end.
all right, cool. So I get some followers with that then. So when it comes to sync specifically, let's put it in the air. What do you have? Like, what would be like your dream placement? Like, yo, that's it. That's the one right there.
Mm, It's funny because I for sure feel like I don't make the type of music for this, but if they did like when they bring House of Dragon back, I feel
Okay.
like that shit would just be so fire to just be watching, and it's like one of my joints playing in there. That would be cool. But I mean, aside from that, like I like and look, I may like get, deep in it and completely change my mind, but I feel like the way I'm thinking about it right now is like it's almost like a challenge, right? Like I'm already going to make the music that I'm making regardless, but I do think that it's kind of dope to say like, oh, okay, like, you know, maybe I want to make something for this specific like TV show or movie or whatever, and just challenge myself. It's like the music is going to be what it is. I'm not going to make anything that's not me, at my core. But I think that's kind of how I'm thinking about it. But yeah, to answer your question, I think, a nice House of Dragon would be dope, and we'll take anything else if it's not that.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Yo, that would be crazy too. I would be like, yo, what is
They
that?
just completely change up like the opening scene, and it's just
Yeah.
me like every every episode.
Yeah, and want to give a quick shout out. So, like, James Garden's out there and he does a lot with sync. We got Excellencia that's dope on the sync side. I know Iman just got a sync placement. So all sorts of people out here on the Web3 side also tapping in with the sync side. So shout out everybody out there, and it's obviously you got the quality for it. So I don't doubt that it's gonna happen. House of Dragon might be a little tough, but like I said, we'll put it in the air. Uh,
Yeah,
as far as your other project is concerned, and I won't dig too much because I know you're working on it, but is it musically related? Like, not
yeah,
hopefully not a dumb question.
yeah. So it'll be. I really want it to be just like this full scope. Like I have the idea and the concept for the music, right? And like that was kind of like the complete opposite with my last project. Was it's like, nah, this is just like music that like I really enjoyed making, but I'm not putting it out there as if it's like, completely cohesive or like follows this same like concept. And I feel like that was kind of freeing, and I feel like this shit is kind of freeing in a way too, because it's like I know that if it doesn't fall in line with this, like it doesn't mean it's not a good song or the song won't come out, but it's like it won't go on this project unless it fits like within the story. So um it'll be as of now, like where I'm at with it is the project is probably gonna be 3 phases.
Okay.
So there's the first phase is kind of like it's a music phase, but the songs within that phase are not necessarily tied to the project. They're just kind of like in support of the project. And then the second middle phase is purely like art, but it'll be art that's tied to the songs on the project. And then the last phase of it is like everything being like rolled into one, and like the finalization of all of that. So music and visual.
Man, that sounds exciting. I really now I'm excited to see it.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's gonna be dope, man. It's gonna be dope, and it's a long time coming for sure.
I want to encourage everybody out there again. So, we're on Miles Ryan Harris. It's really easy to find Miles at Miles Ryan Harris. All three names right in a row, super easy to find. Um, the new song out today for pre-sale, out tomorrow for regular sale. Hell and Back on Sound XYZ. Lots of cool things going on with this. If you are the top collector, you are going to get 10% of the proceeds. 5% go to you, 5% that you can designate to another artist within the space. And who knows, Miles is working on this other big project down the road. Who knows that if maybe collecting pieces here might get you different permissions there at some point. All
Come
sorts
on now.
considering. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not trying to put words in nobody's mouth, but you never know, right? And if nothing else, if you like the song, it's gonna be extremely affordable to scoop one. So, um, Miles, I'm one more thing before we say our piece and move on here. Um, your creative process, what you described earlier, like this song, you said it's a couple weeks, and you know, from all the production, including visuals, that's relatively fast, I think. Is your creative process usually that fast? Is it very similar? You kind of have like a method for it, or does it just kind of vary depending on what you're doing?
Mm, I mean, it varies. It definitely varies, like depending on what I'm doing. But for the most part, like I just I just tie it with the like if we're talking about like music per se, like I tie all of that to like the production. Like if it's pulling something out of me, then I feel like it's usually not something that like I'll sit on for super long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are those like I have a couple in my phone right now that I've been writing for like weeks, but it's like if I feel like if it doesn't come like naturally to me, then I'm not gonna like sit there and force it. So I feel like with that, sometimes you'll get those ones where it's like, okay, like shit, you know, I like the productions all the way there. I got the story. I know like, you know, what I'm trying to do with this. And then sometimes I sit on it a little bit longer, but I definitely say that there's far more of the ones that they just flow than the ones that I sit on for like super long.
Yeah, no, I like that too. And I talked with Jazzy not too long ago. I know you did the feature with her, and she said you were super quick on that. So uh,
Hmm.
I like that, you know, you feel it and you put it out. Well, look, man, I'm not gonna hold you too long. I want to say thank you. Thank you for pulling up and sharing your time. And I want to leave the floor with you to say whatever you'd like to say to everybody out there.
Hey, well, thank you, man. I appreciate you sincerely always. Um, I don't really got anything too crazy, man. I mean, Helen Back with my brother, Life Harris is dropping pre-sale today, 6 p.m. Pacific. Public sale, I think it's tomorrow at noon. And yeah, man, I got if you hit the link on my Twitter and then hit NFT at the top, all of my collections, at least if I'm not mistaken, that I've like ever released in the space are there, and like laid out in a way that's like easy to digest because I feel like a lot of shit just you know gets lost in the mix. So um, even if you can't collect and you're just looking to like browse and listen to music, everything is there. Working on this project and yeah, man, just trying to stay in the light out here.
Feel you. I feel you on that. So just to reiterate again, if you are pulling up for the regular sale, that is tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, and that's going to be 0.005 ETH, so less than a penny in ETH. Not tough to get. Lots of cool perks. Um, Probably going to see Miles on a tour in Brazil soon. He's working on a
Hey,
big project. We got some sync coming with HBO, all sorts of things. So
let's
uh,
go. Shout out House of Dragon.
put it out there. Thank you again, man. We'll tap in. Everybody pull up as soon as you can. And until the next time,
Hey
peace.
man, peace. Appreciate you.